everyone, this is Intuitive Edge. Welcome once again to my channel. Happy New Year. So I took a couple of weeks off from making videos. I had some other things I had to do, and so I'm back, and I hope to be making videos on a more regular basis. So I'm glad to be back. Let's get into 2022. I do have a year ahead video in the works, but it's not quite ready yet. But I do hope to get that out soon. But let's take a look at what's ahead, our weekly what's ahead coming up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I laid out the cards. Let's get into it. All right, now for the first card out, the focus. What's going to be in the news or the focus this week? I've got the momentum card. I'm sorry, I said momentum because momentum I think is the word for this week. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And this is things set in motion. The sense I get with it is that there are things going to be set in motion that can't be stopped. And once they're in motion, it's going to be like feeling like out of control. I got the thought of you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Once it's out and in momentum, that momentum is going to continue. Now, the obstacle to this is the Eight of Wands, which is a card of fast action and things happening quickly. And so if that's the obstacle to something put in motion, it's almost the feeling I get of like an avalanche. Like an avalanche breaks loose and there's no stopping it. And you just have to, if you can, get out of the way or ride the wave because there's nothing that can be done to stop it. That's what this energy feels like. So there may be something like that in the news, something with momentum that's, it's got a life of its own once it starts. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay. Now behind the scenes, we've got the Six of Wands. I call this the card of the triumphal entry. It's what I like to call it. But it's basically on the position of behind the scenes, somebody coming to a point of triumph. That's interesting to me. So I wonder if there's somebody behind the scenes quietly gaining momentum or gaining power, somebody amassing power or taking power back. It could be a person or an entity or a thing, but that's the essence of it. And it's kind of on the down low because it's in the behind the scenes position. It's a very interesting card behind the scenes because the card itself is an outright, out in the open kind of card. So very interesting that that's behind the scenes. So something I think is cooking in the background with regard to somebody taking or amassing power or wealth. Interesting to see how that will play out. On the horizon, we have the page. We have a messenger, Page of Wands. Creative messenger here. As I look at these cards, that page is facing right back into that Six of Wands. And they're both of the suit of Wands. The page being a messenger. So the messenger is saying something about the triumphal entry that is still behind the scenes. So I think there's something going on. Maybe we'll get clued into what it is. But the messenger is telling us that this thing that's behind the scenes isn't going to be behind the scenes much longer. That it's going to come out into the open. Because this card, the energy of this card wants to come out into the open. And so the messenger is telling us that it is. Something's coming out about somebody making... maybe that's what it is. Somebody making an announcement. Or somebody saying, I'm throwing my hat in the race, or something like that. I'm coming out. So that's what that is. There's a message about it. Right now it's quiet. Maybe somebody will announce their presidential run in the next election or something like that. That's what that energy is. Okay. So be looking for that. All right. Fading into the past, we have the Fool upside down. That's interesting. I'll show you the Fool card in this deck. The Fool card stepping out, carefree, do or die, ready to just jump in, no matter what it looks like. But it's upside down. To me, that's like a little bit of like hesitancy from wanting to just jump in and go be carefree and do. There's some hesitancy, and that's fading into the past. I wonder if this is all related to that person or energy of wanting to come out from hiding, come out of the shadows, and the messenger about it. And this hesitancy is fading into the past, like I'm getting ready to announce and come out. That'll be interesting to see how that energy plays this week. Next up is around the corner, the coming blockade. So what I was sensing with this part of the question is I sensed an energy of an obstacle. And it's interesting because I got the moon card. The moon card in this deck is really spectacular with the imagery, very unique. But the moon is the card of illusions, the card of the veil, the card of secrets, sometimes deception, things hidden. And having that as a coming blockade, that's an interesting aspect. So there could still be some pieces to work out with whatever this energy is wanting to come out and unfold and be out in the open. There's still something hidden that wants to be a blockade to it. I think there must be some energy of we want to keep that under wraps. We don't want that coming out. Okay, perhaps one side of an argument is saying, we want to keep this hidden. This is our little group. This is our little club. And there's another energy of it that says, I want to come out. So that moon is the obstacle. Interesting obstacle to have on that energy. Okay, next up is what gives hope. I've got a messenger, the Knight of Cups, card of making an offer, and this card also, this messenger fording a river, he's coming out also. He's facing back into the moon. So I think that's what this hope is giving, is that the veil, the illusion, the deception, the things being hidden can't hide the light forever. It's going to have to come out. Whatever this energy that wants to come out is going to come out. It's only a matter of time. And nothing's going to be able to hold it back. The last card on this, likely outcome, we have the Ten of Wands, the card of taking on responsibility, taking on a burden, being saddled with. Now this is interesting because it's facing right back in to the messenger that's facing right back into the moon. So this is going to be interesting to see how this comes through. Is this talking about things in politics with people running for office? Is this talking about something else? I think it will capture people's attention. And there is a message on it. And I do think it has to do with people amassing power or gaining power and gaining momentum. Now, it could come in the form of there could be a literal avalanche, hopefully not. But it could also be symbolic of things set in motion that just can't be stopped. So, I also got something with the Supreme Court too. When I was shuffling, I was seeing the court, and I felt a caution with the court, like a caution to the court. I don't know if there's some funny business going on with people trying to sway opinions, but if there's any funny business, it'll probably get found out. So just a word of caution to any justice who is thinking about being bribed or taking bribes. You might not want to do that. It's just the sense I get. I don't think that's going to work very well. It feels like there's some exposure that could come very swiftly, and maybe that's that momentum thing as well. You don't want to play with that energy of the Wheel of Fortune because it deals with fate, karma, and destiny. And when things get set in motion and the Wheel of Fortune is on that, you don't want to get in its way. So if you're doing good things in your life, then you have nothing to worry about, generally speaking. But if you're dealing dirty deeds behind dark doors and you've got the Wheel of Fortune coming out, that could be a problem. You could face a lot of exposure. So that's a possibility with that. We do have the Ace of Pentacles, a card of new beginnings, card of values. Could be literal in terms of finance or that kind of thing. But abundance and new beginnings. I think we are off to an interesting start for this new year. I did get some things with the year ahead, and that turned out to be a really long video. I might have to do it in a 2-part thing because it was getting really long, and so I'm going to have to do a lot of editing, and so I do want to get it out because I think there's some interesting energies coming up, especially in the next couple of months, so I do want to get that video out. But I think that's it for this week, looking at the week. So we'll see how this plays out. I hope to be back on here real soon, and I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.